The last year has been really weird in many more ways than one. Due to the pandemic, there has been a never-ending list of things that are experiencing shortages now. Things like gaming consoles, toilet paper, gas, and even Dr. Pepper somehow have experienced shortages due to the absolute chaos that is now our lives. One of the most notable and potentially impactful shortages that we've experienced and are currently experiencing is lumber. Wood is sort of something that has always been plentiful, cheap, and used in practically everything, so the pricing has been pretty consistent for the last forever. But unprecedented times bring about unprecedented consequences. So today, let's dig into the previous skyrocketing lumber prices and the recent drops and the skyrocketing and the drops, and why it's happening.
3-minute flicks. Entertaining, educating, and enlightening.
The lumber problem really came into full swing around the end of last year, and as with most things, has a series of different causes rather than just one definitive cause. For starters, the housing industry is in sort of a boom right now. Housing prices are getting to be crazy high, and with them, the materials needed to build these houses are in hotter demand. And it's not just new buyers either. Being stranded at home made the general public's hive mind universally agree that some home renovations were in need. The housing business is all well and good, but we have to remember that COVID caused some pretty abnormal restrictions on pretty much every industry too. While the demand for lumber was exploding, the lumber industry was actually prepped for the opposite. With many experts expecting a massive economic crash, the lumber industry was ramping down production to avoid having a huge amount of wood in overstock. As we know now, the opposite would happen, and the industry was left trying to catch up to demand frantically, while at the same time government restrictions would hinder the ability to actually get production up and going. So there we have it, a perfect storm of bad luck and pandemic shenanigans caused lumber prices to almost quadruple. Better hold on to those Lincoln logs, they could be the next currency. Well, maybe, because lumber prices are actually dropping a little bit again, so let's explain why that's happening too. Over the last few months, every sawmill in the country was ready to strike gold and began working into overdrive as COVID restrictions lightened. As a result, in some places, the lumber prices have actually seen roughly a 43% drop since their peak in late May. While they aren't back to their usual prices, some expect the complete reverse effect to happen next. Soon, scalpers that scooped up as much wood as possible to sell at crazy rates, and sawmills working around the clock to take advantage of the situation will be experiencing an overstock at some point in the next 6 months. Or at least some analysts believe this to be the case. In fact, if production stays the way it is and demand weans off as people finally get their lumber fix, lumber prices may actually drop to a lower than pre-pandemic original price point. So if you can't build that new fence just yet, don't sweat it, because your Home Depot may just be filled with regularly priced lumber by the end of the year.
3-minute flicks. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We create new videos weekly.